I'm in Nam. It's like the last day. We're leaving on a Saturday, so I know it had to be Friday.
Yeah.
And I happen to be hanging out with my cousin Kenny Leonard.
Yeah.
And we're chilling, and I see Jesus. Jesus is like, "Hey,
Yeah.
I'm playing at Nord.
Right.
Come over to Nord." And I was like, "Okay."
Yeah.
And I said to Kenny, I was like, "I ain't going over there, man.
Mhm.
I'm tired. I'm hungry.
Yep.
Ain't no food inside. I'm hungry. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
My introvertness is kicking in. I'm ready to leave."
Yeah.
And I wasn't gonna go. And Kenny was like, "Oh man, let's go." Because he had a Nord
Yeah.
deal too. So he
Yeah.
was like, "Yo, man, I want you to go over there and check out their stuff."
Yeah.
So I was like, "All right, cool." So I go over there. I watch Jesus
Mhm.
play.
Mhm.
Jesus, and this is why I said what's so special about me and Glenn,
Yeah.
because it's history kind of repeating itself in a good way. So Jesus
Mm.
does his set, and then he sees me and he says, "Man, come
Yeah.
here."
Yeah.
And he points me out to the crowd, "Kevin Powell, my friend Kevin Powell." And people are applauding. I'm like,
That's crazy.
they know me?
Yeah.
And so he makes me sit down on the organ.
Yeah.
He says, "Man, sit down, play anything." So we started playing a little bit of Giant Steps, and I was like,
Mhm.
"Okay, let me chill out because Jesus is crazy."
Oh.
So I'm not even about. I'm not even.
Not
I
about
don't
that
even
life.
want that
I don't
smoke
want that smoke, bro.
because that ain't my fight.
The
I'm just doing this because I'm being obedient.
the boy's name. I don't call him
His name is
Jesus.
Jesus.
I call him Jesus.
So I'm like, okay, all right. So I stop, and he starts playing Doobie stuff.
Really?
So Jesus starts playing. He starts going down Doobie's
Yep.
catalog, and he gets to Agnes Day, and he's
Oh
like,
yeah.
"Hallelujah, what you do, Agnes Day, play." And I'm like, "Okay," and he starts playing the
Yeah.
melody, so
Yeah.
I'm playing it, and whatever. We start vibing, and all of a sudden, Doobie shows up out of nowhere. He gets on the other keyboard. Kenny shows up. He gets on the other keyboard. So it's me, Kenny, Jesus, Doobie. We're just like vibing. So once we get up, he introduces me to the owner, the CEO of Nord, Mr.
Wow.
Hans.
Wow.
I didn't know he was standing behind me the whole time. So I shake his hand. Mr. Hans introduces me to his wife.
Yeah.
And she's sitting there. She's smiling. She
Yeah.
says, "Nice to meet you." She says something to him in Sweden, and
Yeah.
he comes back to me. And he says, "You sound really good on the organ.
Yeah.
My wife wants to know if you'll play again." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, I was getting ready to leave because I have to do something.
Yeah. You trying to get out of here.
I'm trying to get out of there." And the Holy Spirit arrested me.
Uh-oh.
This is like serious. The Holy Spirit was like, "Sit down and play."
Okay.
And I just literally, I heard it like that. "Sit down and play."
Wow.
And I just sat down. I was like, "Well, do you have anything what do you want me to play?" Like, you want me to play jazz?
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. And the Holy Spirit was just like, play hymns.
Okay.
Play the hymns of the church. So I started with the blood of all hymns. I don't know why I started with that. I think I was in A flat. I'm like, "The blood that Jesus shed for me way back on Calvary." Did all that. And there's church musicians out there like, "Come on, Doc, take us to church."
Yep.
And I'm just sitting there like, I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm being obedient.
Yep.
Then I switched and went to Amazing Grace.
Yeah.
And I'm playing all that, and I just started really getting it. I just like, let me play it like I'm really trying to minister to somebody.
There you go.
Let me take it serious and not just
do
it.
Yeah.
Let me just really play it. And I played it, and when I got done, people clapped. I got up, and I was like, "God bless you," whatever. She was crying.
Wow.
And I got ready to leave again.
Yeah.
And Mr. Hines he taps me. He shakes my hand. He says, "My wife wants to know, why aren't we paying you to play our product?"
Wow.
And I was like, "Huh?" He said, "Why aren't we paying you to play our product?"
Wow.
And I was like, he said, where are you going to be? Are you on tour?" I was like, "No."
Wow.
"Well, who do you play with?" I said, "Well, I play with a bunch of gospel artists. I produce.
Yeah.
I do a lot of stuff in-house in my studio, and
Yeah.
I do spot dates. I started naming folk.
Yeah.
Clark Sisters, Kim Burrell,
Yeah.
Doobie Powell, of course.
Yeah.
I'm here and there. I'm everywhere.
Yeah.
Whatever. At any moment, I can get a call, and I got a gig with the Clark Sisters, or I'm out with Kiki somewhere, or whatever.
Yeah.
Kim, whatever.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, I just I play at church. I do studio production. I just told him the truth. I was like, I don't tour.
Yeah.
He said, well, we should be paying you to play our product. And he asked me for my business card. I'll never forget it. And I didn't have my book bag because I was in hype. I was like, man, I left all my business cards at the Airbnb.
Dang.
And I said, I don't have my business card, but can I write my info down for you? And I wrote it down on a piece of paper. He looked at it and he laughed at me, and he left to catch his flight to Sweden.
Wow.
So I was like, oh Lord, he ain't never gonna hit me up.
Yeah,
I gave him email, phone number, everything.
Yeah.
And I said, this was so tacky. I felt so stupid.
Yeah.
And then like a week later, I got an email from somebody that works for Nord USA.
Yeah.
I think they were out in maybe Nashville or something. And they were like, hi, Kevin, this is so-and-so. We're contacting you on behalf of Mr. Hans.
Wow.
He asked us to reach out to you because we want to go ahead and get your paper signed for your full endorsement.
Wow.
And I was like, oh my God, this is really happening?
This is really happening.
And next thing I know, they hit me and was like, we want to fly you to Sweden.
Wow.
We want you to do some tapings here. We want you to, we want to tape you playing the C2D. We're going to pay you. We're going to send you home with whatever equipment you want.
Wow.
So they flew me. When you see that, they flew me.
And all your crew.
Glenn, Maine, we call him Maine, Will Davis, and Sam. They flew us all first class.
Wow.
Put us up in suites. We didn't have to come out of our pockets for nothing.
Felt like movie stars.
No, bro. They looked out for me. So it's like when people start talking all that junk about stuff they don't know.
Yeah.
It's like, man, y'all don't know what obedience will do for you, man. And I don't mean to get emotional or get, spiritual.
Yeah.
But there's so many gospel musicians, and there's so many musicians with church or Christian backgrounds.
Yeah.
At NAMM and on these different platforms.
Yeah.
And it pays to literally hear the voice of God telling you, or if you're in the world, your good instinct, however you want to say it.
However you look at it.
However you look at it, it pays to be obedient.
Yeah.
Because if I would have walked away from that, you wouldn't know.
We wouldn't have saw.
You wouldn't even saw this.
Yeah.
But I heard the Spirit say, sit down and play. Play the hymns of the church.
Yeah.
And, Christianity, to my knowledge, is not even the main thing in Sweden.
No.
So it's like for her to be really moved like that, and was like, the power of having,
say the anointing destroys the yoke.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? The power of your better half, or your favor.
Yeah.
You find a wife, find a good thing, and obtain favor. The power of her.
Yeah.
The favor that she has.
Yeah.
Because I was obedient
to
crazy. Influence her husband who made these keyboards.
That's crazy.
This is Hans.
Yeah. Like,
he's the one that invented Nord. He's standing behind me and I don't even know it.
You don't even know it.
And I'll never forget him when he said that. My wife wants to know, why aren't we paying you
to play our product?
To play our product.
So that speaks to a whole, like you said, with the stigma surrounding this, because a lot of people over the last few years, I mean, I understand the Corey fiasco, that happened. And we can talk about that, we can or not, or whatever.
Yeah, that's a whole nother thing.
And with something like that, I would really want him to just say it out of his own mouth.
Right,
but I understand there's no debating it. I don't have any, I don't got no qualms. I don't have a dog in the fight, so there's nothing I got to say about it. But a lot of people like to say a lot of stuff about it. But there's been this whole stigma of almost like digital blackface, so to speak, that Nord is doing with the African-American gospel. They're platforming all of the popular gospel musicians, black musicians, really platforming them. And a lot of people in our community at which is the shocking part for me.
Right.
A lot of people in our community have had a problem with it, and they throw out these claims of y'all ain't getting paid, all of these different things like that. They just using them. Da 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 da. What do you say to that? What is your There's
nothing I've done for Nord where I didn't get paid.
Yeah.
And it was a good paycheck.
There we go.
And Nord is they're still a mom and pop company. They're just very popular.
Yeah.
They still operate like a mom and pop company. What I mean by that is they don't outsource anything.
Wow.
And that's what I was getting to.
Yeah.
When they flew me to Stockholm, Sweden.
It was on their dime.
It was on their dime.
Yeah.
First class, put us
and not just you, a whole band.
Yeah. First class, put us. I literally was looking at my ticket confused because I was like, all right, where's 1B at? Is there like another 1B on this airplane? Wow. It was like, no, you can go to the first class suite. And I was like, oh, I'm really in first class? I ain't never.
Wow. So
no
your first
other country.
Was that your first class flight?
No, my first class flight out of country.
Out of country.
It's like probably I think it was like a 9-hour flight or something. Yeah. And they flying us all first class, and I'm sitting up. I said, oh, my attitude kind of changed a little bit. I was like, man,
you feel like somebody.
All right, now move out my way when we board because we got to board first.
But yeah, group 1.
Group 1.
Proudly
I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
I'm group 1. I'm before 1. I'm first.
That's funny.
I don't know. That's the same thing, but still.
Check my ticket.
Check my ticket. I was like, I want all these people waiting right here when it's time for me to board. I want y'all to see. I've been watching y'all do this my whole life. Y'all just get on the plane. Y'all so arrogant. Now let me be arrogant. No, I'm joking.
No,
but they do everything on their own dime.
Yeah.
And then we didn't have to come out our pocket for nothing.
Yeah.
And then they take me in the factory and tell me to pick out
whatever you want. That's crazy, bro.
It's like, and it's still, they gave me everything that I asked for. They sent it. Anything that goes wrong, they replace it.
Wow.
I've had pedal boards fry on me.
Yeah.
All right, there's another one. We sent it out. It's shipping out tomorrow.
Yeah.
They
take care of you guys.
They take care of me, man. I don't have to want for nothing with Nord. And these people, nobody's twisting their arms and making them play Nord.
Yeah.
Nobody's forcing Mike to play Nord.
Yeah.
Mike has made a sound playing Yamaha and and Roland for years.
Even Doobie told me when we was talking the other day, he said, today I want to introduce to you Loop Elements Pro. This represents a very innovative new way of using loops. And guess what? It's standalone, not only as a plug-in, but it's also standalone outside of the DAW, which means you can now use loop elements in your live performance. This isn't just a plug-in. It's the ultimate tool for creatives and producers. Whether you're layering loops, creating click track, creating beats, building arrangements, soundscapes, Loop Elements Pro gives you the power to create without limits. Loop Elements Pro is now available. Go get it now. I was playing Nord before they called me.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I loved Nord. It wasn't low, so it wasn't like, oh, they call you, all you switching up.
Oh yeah, I'm on because they, get an
he said I've been playing. It's a clip I found. I can't. I'd have to dig for it, but I found a clip of you. And it may have already been there by default. I don't know where it was. It looked like it was at a convention. It looked like it was at like AIM or something like that. But you was playing. It was like worship melodies, like "I Love You, Jesus," all that stuff like. But you had a Nord up there.
Yep, this was like on our rider years ago.
It's like 2011, 12, somewhere around in there, bro.
The Nords was on our. Actually, Mike was the one that did that. Mike Burrell was working with Dr. Judy McAllister
and saying what we need,
and he was the one. Okay, and the writer saying we need this in the main hall. We need a Nord. We need a motif. We need a Fender Rose. He had everything.
Yeah, because I remember seeing the Fender.
Yeah. That was AIM.
That was that. So that speaks to it. Like it's, and I'm a stark believer of that. I've always been that guy. Like I recommend, I play what I love, I invest in what I love. Like if you go in my control room right now, you'll see a lot. You'll see 3 or 4 Korg boards over there. because I love Korg.
There's a lot of great keyboards out there from a lot of different countries, but companies.
Yeah,
there's a lot of them, but a lot of those guys, and I hate to say it, but a lot of those companies, they don't do for their artists the same way, and some of them do, because they can afford to.
Exactly,
they literally can afford to. When you look at Yamaha and Korg or Yamaha and Roland, Yamaha and Roland, they make so many different aspects of music. They make so many different things. So that's why people have to do the math.
Yeah.
When you're dealing with Yamaha makes drums,
motorcycles.
They make motorcycles. they make keyboards.
They're like the General Electric.
They make sound equipment. They make speakers. They can afford to send you 3 boards for free and say, hey, keep them, and then they still fry on you and you're still screwed because the new motif ain't working right.
Right.
As to Nord, who literally only makes like 3-4 different styles of keyboards and an organ.
Yeah.
They don't have,
and like you said, they're mom
and pop. Like when you go over there, you see, okay, it makes sense. All of their everything is in one factory.
Yeah, and I think I saw a pick one time where they had like a staff pick, and it was like maybe like what 20, 30 people.
Yeah,
that run the whole company.
It cut in half because of COVID.
Yeah.
So it's like they had some people who got sick, died,
Wow.
And they sent half the staff home because of COVID, and how they do stuff over there is different. In a good way.
Yeah.
But like their factory in itself, nothing is outsourced.
Yeah.
They're computerized. Like the people who do what you do, that do all the coding, is right over here.
Yeah.
The people who take the motherboards and put them in the keyboards is right there.
Yeah.
And then the keyboard room, the hot room is right over here.
Yeah.
And then they got the main floor where they're actually assembling the stuff.
Wow.
It's all in one factory. Nothing is outsourced. The only thing that is outsourced is the wood that comes from another part of Sweden, where they cut the wood and they color it and stain it.
Yeah.
But that's still all Sweden.
That's still all
so
Sweden.
It's like it's not like Yamaha, or some of these other companies who've got sweatshops in other countries, you know what I'm saying, putting their stuff together and then, send it to you. They don't work like
handmade.
That. Yeah. It's literally everything on Nord is handmade.
That's crazy.
And they let me see the whole process. That's why I was like, this is wild. Joe.
But the fact that they, like you said, that they're investing in. I looked at it when I saw it, because I didn't have a dog in the fight. It was inspiring to me to see a company invest in our community to platform gospel musicians. To
literally.
I now I'll probably get in trouble for saying this because I know people.
I'm gonna get in trouble for what I'm about to say too, but I don't care.
Yamaha and I love Yamaha. Listen. I love all of these companies. I just talked about Korg is in there. I got like 5 Korg boards in my control room on my wall. I love Korg. I got a motif in there. Not a motif, a montage in there.
Yeah.
I got Nord in there. I got all kind of stuff in there. Profit. I love good instruments.
C2D
we got a C2D right here. I got every MIDI board known to man in this studio. But one thing that I can say about the difference between the companies is that Nord, none of them have platformed gospel or African American musicians the way Nord has. And I say that because when you think about the motif and how much of a staple it has been, they know that the motif has been a staple since since before then, since the SY85, bro. I was playing the SY85 in the 90s. Like Yamaha was where it was like in church. It was church. It's on so many classic.
My dad brought home one of the first motifs ever made. In 1995, he brought it home from Japan.
Wow, that's what I'm saying.
And this never even came out over here. I still got it in the house.
That's crazy.
He was so blown away by the programming and the sounds. Yeah. I mean, when you listen to it now, it's like, oh yeah, that's old.
And
back then, it was like, whoa.
Yeah, but even rolling, I mean, bro, I came up with a RD 500 and a SY 85. That was church in the 90s.
I still got an RD 300 at the church. Come on, man.
Dang. That was church in the 90s. Roland and Yamaha was ruling the game.
It wasn't church without it.
Yeah, it wasn't church without it. And so, but they still, even though those products have been staples across our genre, across our industry for decades, you never seen
them say, let's do a gospel. Now, I will say to Yamaha, shout out to Yamaha, because they do have at NAMM, they have the Yamaha stage.
Yes.
Where they do, they've let Fred Hammond and
go up there.
Yeah, of course, that's A-lister. He don't need y'all.
Yeah, that's cool.
He don't need
We're
Yamaha,
talking about the everyday
But there's the everyday musicians that have an impact on the everyday musicians that we have yet to see a lot of these
those platforms.
We're just saying Yamaha, but this not just Yamaha.
Not just Yamaha.
There's
we
a lot of other cats that really could look out for these guys like that.
Yo, I want to thank you for making it to the end of this clip. We appreciate you watching this breakdown. If you want to see more videos like this, please feel free to check out the links right over here. If you want to take your production, mixing, or whatever to the next level, or check out some of the other products that we have, make sure you check the links down in the description and in the comment section of this video. All right, I appreciate you guys. We'll see y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace.